Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Learing Tree. Get your pencil and paper ready. Class is about to begin. You've seen the signs, queers for Palestine, gays for Gaza. But here's the question nobody seems to stop and ask. What would actually happen if these same protesters were openly gay in Gaza? Today, we're going to go beyond the slogans. We're looking at the geography, the laws, the religious teachings, and what LGBTQ life actually looks like on the opposite side of this conflict. And before we can understand any of that, we need to understand exactly where we are talking about. So let's start with the map. From the river to the sea. What does that actually mean? Before we talk politics, religion, war, or ideology, we need to understand the map. Because you've probably heard the phrase, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. But what river? What sea? And what exactly is between them? Look at this map. To the east is the Jordan River, running through the Sea of Galilee toward the Dead Sea. These are the two geographic landmarks referenced in the slogan. And here's the important part. The territory between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea doesn't just contain Gaza. It includes Israel, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. That's why understanding the geography matters. Now look at Gaza. The Gaza Strip is an extremely small piece of territory along the Mediterranean coast. It's only about 25 miles long, generally around 6 miles wide or less, and approximately 141 square miles in area. For comparison, Israel is roughly 8,500 square miles. Gaza, therefore, represents only a small fraction of the total land you see between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea. Now move east across Israel and you'll find the West Bank. The West Bank is geographically separate from Gaza and lies between Israel and Jordan. Parts of it are administered by the Palestinian Authority, and military arrangements are extraordinarily complicated and remain at the center of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And then there is Israel itself. Israel is an internationally recognized sovereign state established in 1948. It has an elected parliament, its own military, courts, economy, currency, and national government. So there are very different political entities occupying a remarkably small geographic area. And that brings us back to the phrase, from the river to the sea. If somebody points at this map and literally draws from the Jordan River all the way west to the Mediterranean, they are describing essentially this entire geographic space, not simply Gaza. That includes places such as Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, and large portions of modern-day Israel, along with the West Bank and Gaza. And this is where the slogan becomes politically controversial. People who use it do not all necessarily mean the same thing. Some Palestinian activists say they use the phrase as a demand for Palestinian freedom, civil rights, and self-determination throughout this territory. Others historically have used formulations of the idea to advocate for a single Palestinian state encompassing the territory between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, rather than the continued existence of Israel alongside a Palestinian state. And because Israel already exists across so much of that territory, many Israelis and Jews consequently hear the slogan as demanding the elimination of Israel as a Jewish state. Determining what an individual person means politically when saying it requires knowing what that person believes should actually happen to the people and governments currently occupying that territory. Do you mean two states, one democratic state containing Israelis and Palestinians? A Palestinian state replacing Israel? Something else entirely? Those are radically different propositions, and that's exactly why maps are so useful. Forget the slogans for a moment and simply look at the geography. Here is the Jordan River, here is the Mediterranean Sea, and everything between the two geographic landmarks, including the overwhelming majority of Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. So when you hear from the river to the sea, don't picture only this tiny strip of land called Gaza. Look at the entire map. Because once you understand what the river is, what the sea is, and what lies between them, you can have a much more informed conversation about what the slogan, the competing political visions behind it actually mean. The Learing Tree. Take a look at this comparison because we're going to separate three different things that often get mixed up: religious teachings, written law, and what LGBT people actually experience in society. Let's begin with Gaza. First, simply being gay is not technically the crime described in Gaza's criminal code. The legal issue is male same-sex sexual activity. And here's an important historical detail. The law didn't originate with Hamas or even with Islamic law. It comes from the British Mandate Criminal Code of 1936. Section 152 criminalizes what the law calls consensual activities amongst the order of nature, and the maximum statutory punishment is 10 years in prison. That's severe, but accuracy matters here. The written statute does not prescribe the death penalty for homosexuality. So if someone tells you that Gaza homosexuality law automatically sentences gay people to death, that's not an accurate description of the statute. But the written law is only part of this story. Gaza has been governed by Hamas since 2007, and LGBTQ Palestinians have reported discrimination, threats, harassment, and violence. There is also no comparable legal protections for same-sex couples or same-sex marriage. Then there's the religious component. The Quran repeatedly tells the story of the people of Lot, have traditionally been interpreted by mainstream Islamic jurisprudence as condemning sexual activity between men. But Islam isn't one government with one criminal code. Different Muslim majority countries have dramatically different laws, and different Muslims interpret their religion differently. So we should not say this is what happens to gay people in every Muslim country. That simply is not true. Some Muslim majority countries criminalize consensual same-sex activities. Some impose imprisonment. A small number retain laws under which same-sex sexual activity can potentially receive capital punishment. Others don't criminalize consensual same-sex relationships at all. Now compare that with Israel. Consensual homosexual activity is legal in Israel. Gay Israelis can live openly, participate in politics, serve openly in the military, and organize enormous public pride events. Tel Aviv, in particular, has developed one of the Middle East's most visible LGBTQ communities. Israel does not currently have ordinary domestic civil marriage ceremonies for same-sex couples, but that's partially because Israel does not have a general system of civil marriage performed inside the country. However, Israel recognizes same-sex marriages legally performed abroad, and Israel courts have extended substantial rights and recognition to same-sex couples. So compare the fundamental legal situations. In Gaza, consensual sex between men remains criminalized under a law carrying up to 10 years imprisonment. There is no same-sex marriage. There is no openly flourishing pride culture comparable to Tel Aviv. The LGBTQ Palestinians can face significant social danger in addition to criminal law issues. In Israel, consensual homosexuality is legal. Same-sex couples receive extensive legal recognition. Gay people can publicly identify themselves as gay. They can organize, they can protest, they can participate openly in public life. If you're a gay man in Gaza, the territory's criminal code can make your consensual sexual activities a felony, carrying as much as 10 years in prison. And if we're going to have a serious conversation about LGBTQ rights in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, that's the comparison we should make. Not slogans, not memes, not exaggerated claims. What does the law actually say? What rights actually exist? And what could actually happen to the same person simply by living on a different side of this border? That's where the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. The Learing Tree. Now, we've looked at the geography, the religious text, and the law. But instead of me telling you what people believe, let's actually listen to them explain for themselves. Listen to both sides, compare what they're saying, and make up your own mind. Here we go.
Try visiting Gaza as like an openly gay person. Like they'll give you a flying lesson off the top of a building. It's not a joke, by the way. Go take a waltz in like a random Muslim Arab country with your gay pride flag. Won't work very well for you at all.
مجموعة في العالم اسم بتدعم المثليين أو المثليين في فلسطين. شو رأيك فيهم هدول؟
طبعا هون بفلسطين هذا يعني مش مقبول
نهائيا. Palestine is unacceptable.
بفلسطين مش مقبول نهائيا.
It's very unacceptable.
ما بنستقبل هاي يعني مثل هاي الحالات بنحاربها.
We don't like that and we are against it. Why?
But why? مسيئة للإسلام ومسيئة لعاداتنا وتقاليدنا.
Against the Islam and the traditions and customs.
Gays for Gaza! Wait, are you a queer for Palestine? It's like a
Of course, always, every day.
Absolutely.
Okay, why?
I don't really know.
Would you go to Palestine Pride?
Sure. Obviously.
I would love to.
Do you think they'd welcome you with open arms?
Yes.
If we do free Palestine, it would turn Israel into the 58th Arab and Muslim country, and then there'd be 0 Jewish countries.
That's fine.
Gays for Gaza! Yeah, you support Pride?
No.
We're like for jihadi rights?
Wait,
Do you guys believe in that? Yes?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. Why is it important to be inclusive for jihadists?
They're lovely.
Yeah, they are. Jihadis are lovely.
Yes,
like
they
they don't do anything. Why is Sharia law so important to the queer community?
Be who they wanna be.
Yeah. So Sharia law for all? Yes. Why do you support Hamas in Palestine as a queer person?
What do you mean? We're all human.
בגיל 13 וחצי בערך, משהו כזה, 2 ילדים במסגד, שחשדו בהם שהיה ביניהם איזשהו קשר כזה או אחר. השני ילדים האלה ערפו את הראש שלהם מול כולנו.
אתה רציני.
מול כולנו למען יראו ויראו. אין שם, זה לא עולם נורמטיבי שאתה מכיר.
Would you say you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel?
Pro-Palestine.
As a gay man, I would be punished and or put in prison or killed if I were openly gay in Palestine. How do you react to that?
I didn't know that.
Israel has gay pride. Israel is completely open to lesbian and gay people. Palestine puts them in prison or kills them. You weren't aware of that?
I was not aware of that, no.
Do you guys remember Gays and Queers for Palestine? Well, a gay Palestinian man, Ahmad Abu Marhia, was beheaded in the West Bank. So my only question is, for everybody on the left, especially the LGBTQ community, that are supporting Palestine as a state, and they are supporting Palestinians who would do all these unbelievable things to them, how do you sleep at night? How can you be so uneducated and so delusional, with all due respect?
You think it's totally fair for me to like be standing with Hamas as a queer person?
Why should you be ashamed?
Well, it's punishable by death to be gay in Gaza, which, like, if that's true, that's a little conflicting.
Punishable by death would be the extremist Islamists.
Are Hamas extremist Islamists?
No, they are not. They are a resistance.
Yeah, they're like moderate Islam.
Yeah, a few of them who would be maybe extremists, the same as there are extreme queer people who might be a murderer.
Wait, well, I don't know if a queer person's ever murdered anyone. You think? It's like a little homophobic, no?
There's a very high count of queer people, so probably yes.
What would happen to a gay couple in Palestine, sir?
What?
What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza?
Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality. Just like Canada doesn't endorse a lot of things.
So would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will.
You queer for Palestine?
Yeah, I'm pro-Palestine. Yeah.
Okay, did you know that in Palestine it's punishable by death to be gay? Well, no, did you know that?
Well, I didn't, but I mean, I still don't.
You had no clue?
No.
Did you know Israel's the only place in the Middle East where it's even legal to be gay?
That's okay. I still don't think that people deserve to be experience genocide and be mass murdered. So
I don't either.
Yeah,
but
I believe in equal rights above all.
Sure.
People's religious beliefs are beyond me. Do I think that people deserve the right to like live freely and exist?
Sure.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
No matter what their personal beliefs
But
are.
you're comfortable like supporting a government that kills gay people?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
In the U.S., it's a big movement right now. Queers for Palestine, gays for Gaza. Are you supportive of that?
No.
You're not supportive of it?
No.
Is being gay okay here?
No, we don't have it.
You don't have gay people.
So there's been this talking point going around that I'd really like to address, which is that, oh, you know, you're gay and Hamas would do X, Y, and Z to gay people, and how could you support blah, 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 because, you know, they would just have you killed anyway. I find that to be such a false equivalency. And let me be entirely clear, when I say I would stand up for the liberation of Palestine, even if every single one of them was homophobic, because them having an opinion about how I live my life.
Explain there is a group of gays, homosexuals, who support Palestine.
Okay.
What does he think? Okay, now he gets it. Yes?
شو رأيك انهم هذول مجموعة هذول هم بيدعموا فلسطين، بيدعموا الفلسطينيين والقضية الفلسطينية.
أول شيء إحنا بنتقبل الشعب الفلسطيني بنتقبل أي دعم.
First of all, the Palestinian people accepts any support.
بس دعم هيك لا.
But a support like this, no.
Oh, why not?
ليش لا؟
لأنه بعرفش بس غلط الإشي.
Because I don't know, because it's just wrong.
Okay, like immoral meaning?
يعني غير أخلاقي ليش غلط؟
الإشي اللي بيعملوه غير أخلاقي.
Because I believe what they're doing is immoral and we do not need their support.
Being gay, that sort of thing.
لأنهم مثليين. Yes.
It doesn't matter if people would kill me if I went to Palestine, because that's just a hypothetical situation. People are actually dying in Gaza right now, so I support them. We'll worry about whether or not I should visit after the people there are safe.
Do you know Palestinians don't like gays? Babes, either do Americans. Babe, if you want to talk about homophobia, we got it right here in the US of A. Florida can't even light up a fucking building rainbow during Pride Month because their fucked up governors are no, we can't do that, only red, white, and blue. Florida has a don't say gay bill. Right now, there's well over 500 anti-LGBTQ bills trying to
Did you know it's illegal to be gay in Palestine? The only place in the Middle East where it's legal is Israel. Well, Palestine can't really work towards changing that if you're constantly bombing them, can they?
في جماعة في العالم اسمها بتدعم المثليين في فلسطين، شو رأيك فيهم؟ He against that totally. Why ليش؟
Why don't you need the support?
هو عشان نكون واضح أكثر، هو بدعم المثليين برضه من ناحية سياسية، يعني بدعم فلسطين كقضية.
بدعم
بنفس الوقت بدعم فلسطين كقضية. He said our society is against that in general.
Being gay, just being gay, the idea.
Being gay,
yeah. Okay, but what does he think of the fact that they support Palestine?
طب بالنسبة لأنهم بدعموا فلسطين بعيدا عن أنهم بدعموا المسلمين كمان.
ماشي بدعموا فلسطين كلنا.
It's okay, thanks for them.
مجتمعنا وعاداتنا وتقاليدنا.
But our society and the tradition, customs
هلا بعيدا عن الانفتاح
are against that. Away from the open-minded culture they have, we're still against that, but thank them anyway.
And that's the point of this entire deep dive. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with the people in these clips. But if we're going to have a debate about complicated issues like Israel, Gaza, religion, and LGBTQ rights, we should at least understand what the people involved actually believe and what the law actually says. Welcome to the Learing Tree.
As from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Can you tell me which river and which sea we're talking about here?
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.